Hey, how you doing? This is a guide to the bronze in the Stranded Dead. Um, I've only just started playing the Legends mode, and I haven't played Ghost of Tsushima for about 2 years, so I'm a little bit rusty with many things like the parry and the dodge. So if you're a bit rusty with that, the parry or the dodge, or even haven't played Legends, or this mission is bugging you out that you're getting stuck, this is probably going to be a good guide. There are 3 parts to it, like all. The first part, unfortunately, I didn't record, but I might look to redoing that part on how to do it. I did it with somebody who unfortunately dropped out and wasn't able to get back in. Basically, go around as much as you can stealthing if you're the assassin. The other roles I haven't played yet, so I can't really advise, but I did it as the assassin and went through. I think the assassin's probably, from what I can gather, personally, the best role to actually do for this mission, at least anyway. I've recorded chapter 2 and chapter 3, so we'll guide through that. So in the first chapter, just in case I don't actually add that in the future, what you want to do is, if you're not good at finding the ghosts or can deal with their relentless attacks, basically go up on the building with your R2, jump up, and then when you get back down, do it by assassinating, get back up, stay out of their way, come back down, assassinate. You will see that I couldn't invite. They unfortunately couldn't get back in. So I thought, look, I'll do the rest of the mission. I'll solo it, see how I go, and I'll find out what's ahead, just in case I end up dying and wiping out. I then know how to actually get back and do it. So with this mission, you can hear the guys around. Going into the mode like I'm doing now, you'll see them a little bit easier. Quite a bit easier actually. I'm just going around from room to room and stealthing people. Now, as you'll see here, I'm going up, I'm making sure there's no other enemies around. I'm using the reeds, bushes, whatever you want to call them, to keep hidden if need be. I get a kill, I go into the bush. Survey around, there's another guy up ahead. Now, I'm not likely going to talk for the whole clip because it goes for about 40 minutes. Though what I am going to do, I might even decide to split it up. We'll see how we go. I've recorded it and now I'm just doing the audio. I'm mixing it up. Get the ammo. You'll see around the shrines and everything else to get different bits of ammo. I also like to play in Japanese, so hopefully you can read. So, little shrine you can see in the distance there, we want to call it, things sticking up, they actually will give you some health if need be, as well as ammo and different other resources that you'll need, that you have in your quickfire selection. The main thing with this mission is to take your time, do it with stealth, don't rush it and run out. You don't want to be involved in combat. If you have issues with combat with these ghosts, they can be quite brutal with how they come at you, their damage, but also the fact that they're very, very hard to see, and sometimes, particularly in the first chapter, there gets to be quite a few of them. And like I said, I haven't done it for several years, about 2 years. I got the platinum and then did the other things after that, and then that was basically all I did. Get your resources, go around, and just take your time. I'll turn off the audio now for a bit, and you can just watch the mission. Using the house to walk along, you may be surprised that you can use the house if you're not aware to do it. The buildings, houses, what do you want to call them, or the ones we have. Take your time, work out which enemies are away from others, which ones can see you if you come through, which can't. You might see opening in a window, but it might be easier to go down below and get in, depending on which building it is. Like I said, time is very much not a thing. You want to do it with your stealth. I was very lucky with that, that I didn't engage in combat really. So we'll see in a second when I go up into the building. There are people at the doors. Even leaving one person alive could be the difference of whether you get seen or not, and depending on what difficulty you're playing, your skill level. My skill was generally decent at the game, but like I said, I haven't played it for a few years. So they're around the house. So we'll see if there's an enemy in here, but he's facing me. I can easily go to the back door, bang, assassinate, come right through. The objectives have a thing usually in the top building. You have to go and collect this or collect that from the top, view the evidence. But there's a lot of enemies scattered around. Usually they're in groups of one, possibly two, but they'll change paths. So I've been seen there. Unfortunately, I wasn't as successful in that as I did. So what I did, I could have run to the reeds, but I'll go and break the line of sight instead. So I'll go around the building. He can't see me, and now I've gone into the reeds, gone to the furthest area just to make sure I've broken the line of sight. He's come back through, and the way he's acting, as you can see, he doesn't know where I am. Bang. He's down. Very simple. There's a few guys here. You gotta be very careful not to get seen. As soon as you can, kill one, jump up, go to the reeds. If you're not aware of where the people could be, start looking around. You can see where the next person is. Got one coming along the road. You might think, okay, go and surprise him. But there's two, there's one just at the end there. Remarkably, the guys that are digging the shovels are actually quite oblivious to what's going on. You get a little bit more leeway, basically, when you're trying to assassinate them, kill them, whatever you want to do. A little bit more leeway to make a mistake or to not be potentially as cautious. Whereas if somebody's standing there or they're walking around, you're not really going to be able to get inside of them where you can assassinate quick enough before they go, oh, that's definitely the ghost, I've got to kill this guy quick. And they'll start to attack and they'll become gold with their bar rather than a white. This guy's checking him out like, what are you doing? Bang. Another one down. You can see by the white, there's somebody else. Just down over there. Take care of this guy. Straight in. He's done.
男のムクロが握っていたものは血濡れの経典。奇妙な印が記されている。クロードはこの印の意味を見出そうと思案を巡らせた。どうやら印は怨霊とつながりがあるようだ。不意に遠くから猛虎の万兵が近づいてくる音が聞こえた。
So this part is quite interesting. You hear the sound of the Mongol group approaching. There are a few ways that you can actually deal with this particular event. It does tell you, and I haven't taken the other out, but there are definitely several ways that you can deal with it. So it says here that you can go down and fight, or you can just leave them to do their thing. And you may be thinking, yeah, but if the other guys die, I have more people to actually fight. However, as you'll see, what I actually did, I just let them go. In the end, they all died. Both sides, everyone was dead. Very, very simple approach. I looked down and I thought, oh my god, how many people will I have to fight here? This is going to be a little bit difficult to stealth, but of course, this is a very nice approach, so worked out quite well. At times you'll see me pausing. I was just chatting to different friends on my phone on PSN, particularly the guy that I was actually originally in the mission with who dropped out. So pardon the delay with that.
猛虎兵のムクロからスクバタール隊の証を見つけた。クロードは真相に近づいている。
So that is chapter 2 of the Stranded Dead complete. Very, very
スク
simple.
バタールは同胞の兵や友を生贄にして資料兵の数を少しずつ増やしているのだ。資料兵はいかに粗骨であろうとスクバタールの下知に従い、恐れを感じることも逃げ出すこともない。
Okay guys, welcome to chapter 3. So, this chapter, while it isn't as easy as the last one, if the last one is easy for you, it does have a little bit more complexities towards the end, different skills needed and different tactics. Eventually you have to kill every single person that's around here walking. So it's probably a good idea if you've got a team, if you're a skilled fighter, if you're not doing it solo, or if you are doing it solo, you're a skilled enough fighter to take them out with the ghosts. The ghosts are a little bit difficult to me with combat, particularly not doing it for a couple of years, 2 years like I said. So in hindsight, if I was able to, I probably would have gone around and killed the people first. I mentioned that killing all the enemies towards the end. I imagine every single enemy I have to come back to kill, but it may not be every single enemy, it may just be enemies at a certain radius. I'm not too sure. That guy's facing the other way. Bang. Straight in. Back to the grass. Always important to, when you're in the grass and you're walking up, look around, see if there's anybody. You might not see anybody, but somebody could be walking around behind the rock, and they weren't there before, but as soon as you got the stealth, bang, there they are. All of a sudden your cover is blown. So just ensure that you're actually looking around for it.
まるでこの世を呪うような声にならぬ苦しみが霧に覆い隠された家から漏れている。
That one I was quite lucky, but I tried to break sight, go behind the corner of the building, use the barrels, crouching down, and I was able to break sight enough that I could still do an assassination. These buildings can be a little bit surprising, particularly if you haven't done them, where you have to kill the people up the top of the building or over there. You'll find that there's somebody waiting for you. So when you go in, you need to basically, as soon as you enter, sprint, get ready to assassinate straight away. So he's waiting for me, he's gonna see me, bang, straight in. I don't know about the silver or gold mode, but I know bronze because I've only done this on the bronze. I haven't finished the story missions yet. But I do know that when I have to do that, and for the next one as well, up the top, there is another guy waiting. So don't dash through the door, just open the door. As soon as you go in, just sprint, bang, hit your square, assassinate if you're able to. Other roles, I'm not too sure. But you have other different decoys you can use, smoke bombs or exploding bombs or whatever else, different things you can do. But I'd recommend, if you're following it, not really that skilled, out of practice, whatever it is, I definitely recommend taking your time until you get familiar, and then as soon as you get a chance, go straight through, run at them, do your stealth. I don't remember there being anybody on any of the levels going up to where I had to go. I just remember them being always somebody waiting for me as soon as you enter the room. Alright, we'll see. There's a guy waiting right up the top there. I looked around. There's nobody else. But he's gonna see you. Bang. He's straight down. There's nobody.
罪のない民が無残に殺されている。その顔は恐怖に歪んでいた。屋敷を包んでいた霧が少しずつ消えていく。
Looks like there's a couple of little skips in the video area. I'm not sure why that occurred. I'm really not too sure, to be honest. It may have been just due to when I was actually doing the recording, I may have not hit share quick enough. But we'll see. So our goal's down now, but there's people around.
「むごたらしい村のありさまにクロードは憤った。怨霊を打ち払うと霧はゆっくりと晴れていった。
Yeah, they can fight it out. Not my problem. Not my monkeys, not my circus.
誰かが船着き場で経を読んでいるのだろうか。霧の中に深く響いている。
And I go head down here. There's actually a few guys around this area. We'll take him down. Worst case, if you get a spot up with somebody, run up to the cliff. That'll break the line of sight, and then you just hide in the grass. You don't want to stay too close to where you enter the grass either. Move back a bit. That way you're not likely to, when they go in the grass, to spot you or run into you. Particularly if there's more than one. No, you can go through and kill the guy on the outside. Or you can just go around like I did and just get the guy at the front. At this point, I wasn't actually aware that I had to go back and kill all the enemies. I figured I may have to just kill a few on my way just to get my objectives done. Somebody up there, no matter how much I moved around, they kept me in their line of sight. So I thought I'd go back, take a little bit of a detour around. They can be very hard to miss too, that's why taking your time, particularly in the stealth roles, is quite essential. Making sure too you're aware of which way they actually position themselves facing, what they're doing, their paths, their movement. Can be quite critical. Alright, there you are. Time to die. There's another guy just over to the left. Digging a hole, most likely to put bodies in or whatnot. But this guy's got to die too. Or die again.
ある村人は畜生のように殺され、網の中でただ腐るのを待っていた。船着き場を覆っていた霧はゆっくりと川下に消えていった。
Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and please feel free to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell, notifications, all that. I've really got to make one of those little flashcards that comes up and do some of that cool imagery and whatever else, so I've never actually tried it. If you know how to do it, please let me know. I'm sure I'll figure it out pretty easily myself, but I'm doing all this on the Share Factory, so I'm not sure if the Share Factory even has the tools for that. I need to buy myself a proper recording device, particularly since I'm a Platinum Trophy guy. I like to get a lot of Platinums. You'll see there's a Super Strike. There's one Super Strike. Quite essential. I like to keep my resolve bars as full as possible, particularly towards the end of the mission, of this particular chapter rather, which is the end of the mission. You want to make sure that you've got, if you're doing it by yourself as an assassin, and you want to do it stealth, you want to make sure you've got as much resolve as possible. This guy's completely oblivious. Got no idea. was going around the building thinking, wow, there's one on one side, one on the other. I hope one doesn't see me, but if it is, very, very easy to get out. You could just sprint, 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 break the site by a corner, and then go on into the grass. Alright, you gotta go too. I kept trying to jump up on that rock. Realizing the height of it, I was not going to be able to jump up. But you can use rocks as well as decoys. Just going around the outside of the rock is always another good idea. Just go around and you can easily break sight. Like, it wouldn't be much of an issue if they fully aggravated you, just to go around, or if you aggravate them, go around and then just use the rock as a way of breaking their sight, and then coming up behind them and stabbing them if need be. Like I said, hindsight guys, if you're able to go around and kill everybody around this particular area, you don't need to go back to the other area, but this particular area, if you need to and are able to rather, kill as many people as you can in the buildings walking around, because you have to go back and kill a whole bunch of people anyway. So I'm not sure which one you have to kill, which ones you don't. I'm pretty sure it's all of them, but there may be a couple of enemies that I didn't actually need to kill, and it marks them anyway. Like, you'll see the little symbol above their head. This is just the targets that I have to kill. But later on, they'll have the same kind of targets as the ones that it says to finish off the rest of the remaining enemies. Not all parts of the house too and buildings will actually keep you stealth like there. I'm not sure why the video jumped ahead, but you'll see I'm putting my word to the action by running. I've aggravated him. I've broken the sight by that rock, but I'll still take another chance and go up high. When he comes around. Now, this log actually acts as a way of breaking one of the sight in some circumstances, but unfortunately it didn't here. Being that I was kind of packing it while I was doing this this mission, I thought I'm not going to go through, because the first part of the mission, the first chapter, was quite brutal. I figure I'm not really get engaged in combat. I'm just going to avoid combat and see if I can, one, get through the entire thing and know what's ahead, and two, see if I can get through the entire thing in stealth. And these guys do quite a number, particularly the ghost guys, if they're using their axe or their spear or whatever particular guy you're fighting. If they're using it to swing on the ground, you may not see it in time, and if you take a hit, oh god, they do some pretty decent damage on you. But he was dead anyway. He was gonna die, just a matter of time. So you can see I've conquer all enemies. So I'm just going around and killing all the enemies that I can either find or the ones that are marked out. So there may be 2 enemies or 3 enemies in a small vicinity, but there may only be 1 marking. So being that it looks like this guy is in a house or behind the other side of the house, you don't want to just rush gung-ho with any particular area. You want to make sure that there's no one else around, because you may mark one and then somebody else right nearby may appear. I thought this would be sweet. I can just jump on this guy right through the window. Like, oh, damn it. I can't. Oh well. Back out the door. I was curious with that tunnel though. I was really curious if the tunnel would have worked, but who knows. Another approach. Bang, straight in. At this point here, guys, when you're running around and you're doing the clearing of the remaining enemies, this is where you really want to, as much as possible, ensure that by the end you have all three resolved. Because right now we've only got a couple of enemies to kill. These guys are quite big, quite brutal, and unfortunately, even with the super strike, with the gear that I have equipped at least anyway, the gear that I actually have, they're not able to be taken down in one go. But I found this bit of a tactic for it.
戒めとしてその首を獄門にさらしてくれよ。クロードでさえこの俺にかなわなかったと思い知るだろう。
力強い足音が迫る。クロードは戦いに備えて太刀を抜いた。
These guys are quite brutal. If they would engage in combat, they would absolutely knock you for a 6. And I'm just going back through, I haven't rewatched the video that I've recorded, I just kind of pieced the clips together. But from memory, there were actually 4 of them. So it sounds a bit amateur or whatever else. I really didn't go through and spend the extra time doing it. Bang, super strike, a little bit of health. While he's a little bit stunned, whack, whack, bang, straight down. This guy's a little bit pissed off. So we're just gonna run. We're gonna break sight. Don't think for 1 second that if they're in your sight, you're in their sight rather, you can actually go in the grass and you'll hide. I'll see you in the grass and I'll come after you. You have to make sure you break the sight. And the more enemies there are around that see you, in this case there wasn't, but there may be in other missions or whatnot where there's several enemies around. One may see you go in the grass, and of course that will alert the enemy that you did break the line of sight with to then be able to find you. So he's, nah. I saw him go this way. Now you'll see I broke the line of sight a couple of different ways, going through the buildings, going around the tree, etc. fence. But he still was able to follow me almost to my exact location. Not too close, but pretty close. So you can see it's quite essential with this part. One, with saving your resolve to use, but also as well ensuring that you travel a decent distance away to the grass. Super strike, slightly stunned, whack, 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 down. I saw that red and thought, man, I'm about to be absolutely knocked down. But luckily I just brutally hit, bang, 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 bang. I could have in hindsight done a strong strike rather than the quick strikes, but either way it worked out. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Like I said, I should have watched the video again and go through 3 or 4 enemies, but we'll see. I'm a full-time single dad of my 3 kids, plus other commitments in life as well, so I don't really have the time to be able to go through and spend extra time, not at this point anyway. If by some miracle I was able to do YouTubing full-time or semi-full-time, then I would be able to, I guess, have that luxury. There's 2 guys here. Like, oh, there's 4. I have 3 resolve. I will have to engage in combat in some way. But straight down. This guy's already basically exploded. Straight down. This guy's here. Rolling is definitely a good tactic to get away from a potential strike. 1, they'll miss the attack, and 2, you can usually get going a lot faster to run. Going to a different area now, breaking a little more line of sight, going to an area I'm kind of leading him out of the fray, so to speak, and back through. And you'll see here, he actually doesn't come anywhere near as close as the other guy did. He's way at the back. I don't know if you're able to see him there, but he's way up the back. He broke line of sight. I did go a fair distance away from where I was. I probably didn't need to go that far exactly, but I wanted to be sure, particularly since I have no resolve left. It was around this point I thought, how the hell am I going to kill this guy with no resolve and not be able to use quick strike? And my god, why do I keep walking into fire for? That's what's going to kill me, the fire. And now that I have basically half a life bar, oh, no, now we're going down even more. We're going to almost a third, between a third and 2/3 life bar. Like I said, those little shrine thingies, whatever they're called, I cannot remember the name of them, so please do not judge or not on that, but they will give you a bit of health. Even if you're not full on ammo, they're very, very important to get. And the guy that I was actually playing with, I took him a while, but I had to keep telling him, look, you need to go to this area and you need to take these little shrine things rather than hit the gong. Hit the gong if you're very, very low on health and need a quick health boost. So I've done the assassinate, critical strike, done a couple of hits, got his big magic red lightning fire thing out. They try to get me, but I'll go back. Bang. Look at the hit, that damage. All he did was push me over. I wasn't able to assassinate him. I thought I'd get cheeky and try that, but unfortunately it didn't pan out as well. But I still got a couple of strikes and took him down. So it can be a tactic really of going up behind him, doing the critical strike. It won't be an assassinate because it will be saying no, you aren't able to, with your weapons, with your skill, whatever else, you aren't able to actually assassinate him. You have to basically critical strike him, so do a high damage because he's unaware. You can do that several times, get behind him, do a critical strike. I would highly advise doing a couple of hits. As soon as you see him start to move his weapon up to swing, around then I would GTFO out of there because, like I said, solo, unpracticed, the spirit type of being, they take big damage off your health bar. They do big damage and take a lot of health off your health bar, as well as if you get in combat with them, you haven't had to practice, you haven't been playing for a while, you're probably going to get your ass kicked pretty hard. But doing that stealth attack by a critical strike, then doing a couple of hits, you get a few more bits of thing off him. I could have done a smoke bomb or something else, but 2 stealth attacks and a couple of smacks and a couple of smacks on the grass sorted this guy out. So now we basically finished the story. Gotta hit the drum just on the off chance I accidentally fell down into a ravine or something happened to me. Did a jump and landed down, but that is that mission done. And I really need a drink of water. So I got some pretty cool stuff. I would have loved an option with this game to be able to buy some really cool things, like with actual money. It would have been nice, but anyway, you can't do much about that. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that stuff. And if I've missed anything in that, yeah, hit that too, like that, share that, whatever else. And feel free to add me to PSN and just send me a message.